Welcome to BC Gnomonics. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this universal altitude dial that uses the universal projection method. Now, this dial differs from something like a Regiomontanus dial in a few ways, the projection method, but also the method of setting latitude and sighting the sun. So as you can see with the Regiomontanus dial, the sights are included and fixed on the dial body itself, so that the entire dial is tilted up to determine the sun's elevation above the horizon. The entire dial is made to point at the sun. But with this dial, the dial itself is held level and the sights move to face the sun, much like on an astrolabe. Now, to set the latitude of this dial, you will rotate the projection disc along this outer edge, using the index to align with the latitude of use. Now, being roughly 44 degrees, I will set the dial to this spot right here, as each increment on this particular dial is of 2 degrees. Now, the next step is to suspend the dial by its handle, level it to the local horizon, and point it at the azimuth of the sun, so that the sun ray passes directly through these two sights. So this is much the same as sighting the sun with an astrolabe using its alidade. The sunlight, when this is tilted correctly, will pass directly through the first sight and project its hole onto the hole of the second. When you see both of those shadows lining up, you'll know that the dial is pointed directly at the sun. Now let's pretend I was sighting and the sun was 40 degrees up. As you can see, this dial also includes an altitude scale. So I'm suspending the dial, pointing it at the sun, and I will then secure this string, the plumb bob. Now, as you can see, unlike the Regiomontanus dial, there is no bead attached to this dial. And that's because there's not a single point on the hour scale. It's the intersection of the hour line and the current date that tells you the time. So referencing this date scale here on the edge, we see the zodiac calendar. And being right about in the middle of Cancer, I will take my reading from this line right here. So tracing a line out from the middle of Cancer, it intersects with the plumb bob right here. Now, if I take this point and take a reading along the line of that intersection, the vertical line, I will see that it intersects right at 3:45 p.m. And tracing that down, I see that that exact same point is right about 8:15 a.m. So this dial can be used in the before noon or afternoon, just the same, much as the Regiomontanus dial. You simply have to reference the side of the hour scale that corresponds to the current time. Now again, just like the Regiomontanus dial, this dial can also be used to determine times of sunrises and sunsets, much the same. You simply level the sighting assembly to 0, indicating the sun is just coming up from the horizon or just setting. Take a reading there, and just again on the date of use, after setting latitude of course, on the date of use, trace the line that corresponds to the current date outward and see where it intersects with this string. So for example, if I were to find the sunrise on today's date, or sunrise or sunset, I would take the line corresponding with the middle of Cancer, trace it out until it intersects with the plumb bob right here, and I get right about 7:30 as an intersection point. Now that's sunset, but if I wanted to do sunrise, as I said, I would reference the lower side of this scale. So I see 7:30, that corresponds with right about 4:15 a.m. as the sun is at the same height at both of those hours. Now this will conclude this demonstration, and I thank you for watching.